Good morning. We are going to start chapter 13, section 3 today, and we're going to be talking about frequency tables and histograms in this section. So to create a histogram, like you probably saw in Algebra 1, you are first going to need to create a frequency table to work from. So in a frequency table, you are going to have your values, whatever your values are, and then their corresponding frequencies. Frequency means how often does it occur. So I've provided you with a data set up here. For this data set, I chose one that was already in order for you to try to make your life a little easier on this. So we don't know what these values are. So I'm just going to label my left side column generic values. And then my right side column would be frequency. Now, you probably learned in Algebra 1 that when you're setting up a frequency table, you need to create bins or areas where your values can fall into. So my bins have to make sure that they capture my lowest value, which is 9, and eventually capture my highest value, which is 67. But it's also important with your bins that they are all of the same size. So I'm going to make this first bin go from 0 to 9. So now if you use your fingers at home and count with me from 0 to 9, I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm holding up 10 fingers. So that means that every bin that I create has to be the same size. So it has to have 10 values in it. So that means that your next bin will go from 10 to 19. And then you probably see the pattern that's emerging here. Then we have 20 to 29, 30 to 39. And I know when I'm done, when I include a bin that will catch 67. So then I have 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, and that's where I'm going to be able to stop because my maximum value, 67, will fit in that bin. So now I just need to count. So values that fall between 0 and 9, I'm going to mark them out as I go. I have 9, so that's 1. So my frequency, how often a value occurs between 0 and 9, my frequency is 1. So now I need to look at my chart and find the values that fit in the next bin, which would be values between 10 to 19. So what is my frequency for the bin 10 to 19? Correct. The frequency there is 0. There are no values that fit in that bin. You still have to include it. So you can't just throw out a bin that has nothing in it. You have to include it. It will be important for your histogram. So now I'm looking for values from 20 to 29. Again, I find one of them. Then 30 to 39. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a frequency of 5 there. 40 to 49. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite in order, but 50 to 59. 1, 2. And then the last one, 60 to 69. 1, 2, 3. So this that you see here on your screen right now, this is a frequency table or a frequency chart. So if you are asked to create one of those in Algebra 1, all that they're really asking you to make is a 2-column chart. But now we're going to use this to make a histogram. So a histogram is essentially a bar chart, but some things have to be true for it to be a histogram. A histogram can only be used for numerical values. You're going to label the bars that you have the same as you labeled your bins over here in your frequency table, and your bars need to touch in a histogram. So when I set this up, down here on the x-axis, these are just my generic values. Again, I don't know what they are in this case. We're just using numbers. But my y-axis, my vertical axis, this is going to be where I label frequency. So essentially, the higher the bar, the taller the bar, the more often that value occurred. So then along the bottom, I need to label what my bin said. So I have 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, almost ran out of space there. And then along the vertical axis, I'm going to label my frequency. Now I can see that the highest frequency that I have is 5, so I have to make sure that I go at least that high. And now I just need to create my bars. So the height of my bar should match the frequency of that bin. So the first one, 0 to 9, had a frequency of 1. So I am going to create that bar to have a height of 1. 10 to 19 had a frequency of 0. So notice I still labeled it on the histogram, but there's just not going to be a bar there at all. So then 20 to 29 had a frequency of 1. 30 to 39 had a frequency of 5. 40 to 49 had a frequency of 5. 50 to 59 had a frequency of 2. And then my last bar, 60 to 69, had a frequency of 3. So this would be your histogram to represent the data set that I gave you. This space here where you have no bar, this is called a gap in the histogram. Sometimes you will have those, sometimes you won't. But they only occur if you have a value in your frequency table of 0, a frequency of 0 for one or more of your bins. So you have an assignment posted. It's 3 questions asking you to do some work with frequency tables and histograms, and then I will be back with you next Tuesday, and we're going to talk a little more about histograms at that time. Have a great day and a good weekend.